Hi, I'm Darren Walker. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Softball, I sit down with Head Coach Gerry Glasco to preview the week ahead in Ragin Cajuns softball. And later, we're joined by Athletic Director Brian Maggard and hop on a flight to Atlanta to meet with UL alumni. But first, Coach Glasco joins me to discuss the weekend series with Coastal Carolina. You're watching Inside Louisiana Softball. Welcome to Inside Louisiana Softball. Darren Walker joined by the head coach, Gerry Glasco. And Coach, let's get right into recapping last week. You start the week in Ruston. You come away with a 7-2 win, but really the story of that night is what happened after you guys left. A tornado touchdown in Ruston and really did some significant damage not only to their softball field but also their baseball facility.
Oh, absolutely. Heartbreaking for their community and their athletic program and their school. You know, and it sounds like that they were very fortunate to, you know, that the damage was as light as it was and the fatalities were as light as they were. But it was just a very tragic thing to see. You know, that field was beautiful. Mm-hmm. I was overwhelmed by how pretty that softball field was, how pretty that whole area was, because I'd never been there before. And then to wake up at daylight, at 6 a.m., my phone started ringing or vibrating more than normal and woke me up. And that was what people want to know, if we stayed the night there. And, you know, the pictures were on the phone. And so before 6:30 a.m. the next morning, I was aware of how catastrophic some of that damage was, especially to the softball field.
A little surreal for you, I would imagine, as well, having just been there hours beforehand.
Yeah, like to see the scoreboard really tore up. Mm-hmm. We'd had a conversation about they need more batting cages, but the trees were in the way, and all the beautiful trees were laying across home plate and across the top of the buildings and the grandstand. And so it was an odd feeling and a unique feeling and just very sad.
All right, let's get to the game now. On a much lighter note, you guys really came out and played well. Julie Rawls had a 3 RBI day. Summer Ellison did what she normally does. Just talk about the game that night.
Yeah, you know, it was really a good test for us to go on the road because they're a very quality ball club and you know, they're leading Conference USA and then besides that you've got the in-state rivalry thing going, and we have fans show up at that game that we don't have all year because they live up in that area. We had recruits that are committed to come here and play that live up there, so they're at the game. So it was hyped up, and the hype in the pregame atmosphere was very electric. And then for us to get out and just control the game the way we did, I was really proud of the girls. They took charge early. Summer was Summer. She just dominated from beginning to end, had one little lapse there in the middle, but you know, Summer was outstanding and give us a chance to win as she always does. So really a good, well-played game. I thought we made some really good defensive plays, especially Rain O'Neill out in center field made one catch. It was really an outstanding catch, I believe, in the second inning. And it's kind of set the tone for the game.
Right. Kara Grimion had a home run in that game. Later on, though, she slid and injured herself. But as the week progressed and you guys played this weekend, it seemed like things got better for her. How's she doing?
She's doing great. You know, we were very fortunate on that. She slid, and when you slide on turf, you slide a little faster. And she got to the bag and jammed her knee in, and we had some bruising there, you know, and you know, it's really a banged up, bruised knee. I overprotected her probably Friday night and made some of the rumors start flying about the injury. But I was just trying to be careful with her because you're 48 hours from a bad bruise. But by Saturday, she's like, put me at third base and leave me alone. And we did. And then I was being careful with her, and she bunted for a hit and let me know she's ready to run, and then she ended up stealing third, and she was going full speed, and luckily it scared me a little bit because when you get this close to postseason, and her game is built on her legs, and she's just an outstanding defensive player. She's an outstanding base runner, so it's just, you know, a little bit of bruised up there, and we just took care of her on Friday and tried to be careful with her, and we're going to continue to play her, and she's, as far as I know right now, she's going to be 100% by this weekend.
Good to hear. So you get to Coastal Carolina this weekend. Game 1, you jump right on them with a 5-run lead in the first 3 innings. And we talked about the game within the game last week about how Summer, who's a high strikeout pitcher, going up against a team that hits a lot of home runs, but they strike out a lot. So she was on her game that day, 12 strikeouts in first game.
Yeah, 95 pitches and 12 strikeouts. Very economical game for Summer, and we needed that because we're going to use her, and we're trying to get her ready to understand what she has to do and be prepared to do in the regional when we go back to back days. And so she started off the weekend very well. She controlled the game. She had a lot of strikeouts, but yet she didn't go over the 100 pitch count, which is critical. And then the team come out early and got the lead in the first 2 innings. I was outstanding to be able to do that. Then we kind of let up. And I felt like we just let the game go full 7 when we should have. I felt like we should have been able to put that game away. But on the other hand, that pitcher is really good, and their record's good. They're a good ball club. I think 35-15 or something like that. 35 wins this year. That's a very quality ball club. So you don't just always, do the 5-game. 5-inning, 8-run rule. That's not an automatic thing. But this team's been so good that I tend to think it should be automatic.
Game 2, you get 8 runs in the first 2 innings. Summer and Carrie Boswell combined for a shutout win. Very impressive win for you guys on that day.
Yeah, I got after them after game 1. I really got after them about their intensity and finishing and getting 8 runs and let's put this game away in 5. And so it was rewarding for me as a coach because you never know how those, how they take your message, and especially when they're playing as well as they do and as hard as they do for our program, and as hard as they're playing for me. They've really put me on their back this year. They're trying to please me, so I have to be really careful how I deliver messages. And to see them come out and immediately score 4 and then come back and get 4 more to get us to 8, and they're like, "There you go, coach. That what you wanted? You got 8 now." And so that was fun for me as a coach and rewarding for me as a coach. And it speaks volumes of the talent that we have on this ball club.
Game 3, prior to Game 3, you had the moms throwing out the first pitch to the seniors. The dads threw out the first pitch on Friday. Just talk about that moment. Long-time tradition here and a special moment for those families.
Yeah, it was really neat to see the dads and the moms. And this is what I'll say about the senior class. There were parents of those seniors that I didn't know. So that tells you how good a kid they are, how good a student athlete, but how good a family they are. And of course I come in under unusual circumstances in the middle of the year. Right. So last season was short, but they just stayed in the background, and I saw all those people around the ballpark and all, but I actually didn't know that was Kara Grimion's dad, or that's Kara Grimion's mom, that's Allison DeVille's mom, that's Allison DeVille's dad. It was pretty cool that you recognize it. I never had that happen because usually in the recruiting process you get to know the family very well. But in this situation, it's great families, and to get to meet with them and hear them talk about, the program and where they're at and where we're at, it was really a fun weekend and rewarding in that sense.
So Game 3, you guys take that one 3-2. You gave Allison DeVille the start. Summer Ellison had to come in, but she was lights out from the beginning and no hit them the rest of the way. Yeah,
I think of great significance this weekend. Summer was 95 pitches on Friday night, 65 pitches on Saturday. And then Sunday we come out and we start Allison DeVille, who's our senior leader. Allison is just an amazing person in our clubhouse and in our locker room, and her resiliency of just fighting every day, no matter what role she has on the ball club. She goes out and fights every day in practice to become a little bit better. And the significance to our program was we had to start her, in my mind. We have to start Allison DeVille, so that every athlete that comes here knows if they work hard and they work hard and they work hard, at some point there's going to be a reward to it. And she's done a great job for us all year in the relief role. We put her out there in an uncomfortable role, starting to her, an unfamiliar role, but she actually pitched really good and went right at the first 2 batters, got a 3-2 on the 3-hole, who hits a lot of home runs, leads our team in home runs, and she put one out on her, got the next batter immediately, and then we went out in the second, made an error. And that put some pressure on her and got her in an uncomfortable spot. And then we had another play we could have made that we didn't make, and next thing you know, we're down 2-0 with runners on second and third, and so we bring in Summer at that point. But Allison had pitched tremendous, and the pace and the tone and her her body language, her composure, her presence in the pitching circle is amazing. And it set the tone for us to have a really good game, and Summer come right out. And I thought extremely significant. She only threw 50 pitches in 5.2 innings, 5 2/3 innings, and struck out 5, but allowed no hits. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like that, we got what we wanted. We kind of changed up on them a little bit. Allison's a completely different speed, completely different movement. And I think that the no hits that Summer got, just her going through that lineup one time really helped Summer. And in Summer, she's clutch. And it was really good for her to put her in that situation where her team's behind. You can't let them get another run. You have to shut the door. That was great for Summer. So I thought it was a really rewarding experience for our ball club after we won and when we got the win.
Great weekend for the Ragin Cajuns. We'll have Coach Glasco back later on to look at the upcoming week. But coming up next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we visit with Dr. Brian Maggard as he updates us on the state of Ragin Cajuns athletics.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come to us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
Hello, Cajun Nation. This is Brian Maggard, Director of Athletics for your Louisiana Ragin Cajuns. As we enter the month of May, we enter a very exciting time where our spring sport programs have been excelling, particularly in the sport of softball. We currently have the 8th ranked softball program in America. Coach Glasco, staff, and team have done an excellent job in only their second year of not only clinching the regular season Sun Belt Conference championships, but certainly as we move forward to the Sun Belt tournament, we look forward to another successful tournament season with softball. And as we look to go to regional play, and Coach Robichaux and our baseball program picked up their 3rd victory over the LSU Tigers in the last 13 months. Our thoughts and prayers certainly go out to the Louisiana Tech University, as we know that community of Ruston was hit by a tornado, and we know that the campus was hit, and certainly that community will remain in our thoughts and prayers as they continue to rebuild some of the damage done by that devastating storm. Moving ahead, we have a lot of activities coming up, particularly from an outreach standpoint. This Saturday, we will be going to Atlanta to attend the UL Atlanta Alumni Crawfish Boil. Myself, Coach Napier, and others will make a presentation up there and start re-engaging and connecting with the Atlanta alumni base, and very much look forward to that. As we get into the month of May, we will have outreach trips over to Dallas and to Houston, and then we will end up later in June up in Opelousas, where we will do a coach's caravan at Evangeline Downs, where surely will be a good time for everybody as we partake in some horse racing, but also be able to connect with many of our alumni up in that region. We will continue in the month of May with our 2nd RCAF Town Hall that should be slated for May 9th. And again, that will be an opportunity for our investors to come together and ask any questions and hear more about the new investment model that we have rolled out already. The RCAF staff have been working very hard and diligently in ensuring that that transition of a new model is going very smoothly. And sooner than later, you will be receiving parking pass renewals for the football season. And we just again look forward to providing a high quality service and experience for our investors as we move forward there. But certainly on May 9th is an opportunity for everybody to come out to the town hall and to learn more about this new investment model and ask any questions that they may have. Football season ticket sales continue to move forward. I've been very excited and pleased with the renewal rate that's gone on so far. But as you now know, season ticket sales for the general public are now underway, and we'll then certainly be allocating more and more ticket opportunities moving forward over the summer. Really need Cajun Nation to give us a strong push this year with football season ticket sales. We need to pack Cajun Field for Coach Napier's second year. It certainly should be a very exciting opportunity for our fan base to see what that program is all about, and we certainly are very excited about what we think lies ahead. On August 31st, we open up the football season in New Orleans, as you may know, and so we are encouraging our fans to sign up for and get ready to request those single game sales over in New Orleans. Again, another great opportunity to watch the Cajuns in the Superdome, and that game will serve as our 7th game in the state of Louisiana, and that is in addition to the 6 home games at Cajun Field this upcoming year. You'll see a lot of activity coming from us from a social media standpoint as our numbers continue to grow and escalate nationwide. We're very proud of all the efforts from our broadcast operations and digital communications areas as we continue to grow the brand, not just statewide, regionally, but also nationally. You can catch many of our coaches' shows on CST, another great format for us to continue to grow and expand our brand and to continue to promote our various sport programs throughout not only the state of Louisiana, but nationwide. Any strong organization needs to put an emphasis and focus on morale and the team approach, and we've been very blessed at University of Louisiana to be a part of a culture that certainly supports such endeavors through the gathering of our staff and through food. Recently we had a fish fry where we were the recipients of more than 80 pounds of catfish, and that allowed our staff to come together and to just have a great time of camaraderie in a very relaxed atmosphere and enjoy some great quality southern Louisiana food. As we continue to move forward, it's always going to be a priority of ours within the UL Athletics Department to ensure that we have an atmosphere that really promotes a family feeling and one that will allow all of our staff members to thrive. We have a great product to promote and to sell, and certainly I am so pleased at the athletics director to have a staff that takes great pride in not only the product that we have in place, but this entire institution. Not only does the month of May bring the culmination of the spring semester, but it also begins a new chapter for many of our student athletes through the graduation experience. We are so excited for, happy about, and really looking forward to many of our student athletes walking across that stage to receive their degree from the University of Louisiana. We know that the athletic experience provides many of our youngsters the only opportunity to receive that college education, and we could not be more happy for our student athletes and their families who will experience graduation this upcoming May. We want to wish all of our graduates a very successful future and want them to know that they are always welcome back to their home, the University of Louisiana.
Coming up next, the Ragin Cajuns touch down in Atlanta to meet Louisiana alumni.
Intact! Together! Discipline! Time! 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 Intact! Together! Discipline! Time!
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, Trust us to get you back in the game. Lord Sports Care, the team behind your team.
Welcome back. Time now to hop on a flight with the Ragin Cajuns as they meet Louisiana alumni in Atlanta.
Well, this morning we're getting ready to head up to Atlanta, Georgia to meet with a very, very strong alumni base that the University of Louisiana has in that state. We're expecting a crowd of somewhere between 100 and 150 individuals who are going to get a chance to hear from Coach Napier, myself, and some others, and I know they're very excited about the coaching part of that for sure, but we know that this is a really important piece for us to take in as we want to continue to cultivate that alumni base, get them even more engaged in what they already are, both with the university and the athletic department, and this opportunity will allow us to continue to foster relationships that will allow our program to grow.
Well, today's a great day. Get a chance to go back to the home state. You know, anytime you're kind of 2 hours away from your hometown, it's a special opportunity. Certainly to get together with a bunch of Ragin Cajuns in Atlanta, Georgia is a special opportunity. It's something I think we need to take advantage of. You know, a direct flight from Atlanta to Lafayette's a big deal, and being able to get back and forth, certainly to connect with these people. Two Sun Belt Conference teams, Georgia State and Georgia Southern, right there in the state of Georgia. So it's an area where we need to be competitive. We need to recruit students. We need to recruit football players. We need to stay in contact with our alumni. So I'm excited about getting together with these people today.
This is our 32nd annual Atlanta Ragin Cajun Club Alumni Crawfish Boil. We pick a great spot. We like to go right into the heart of the city of Atlanta, so all of our alums can come in from all the different counties. We even have alums who come in as far as, some of them come from Birmingham and also Chattanooga. We try to expand our reach for folks who can drive in within a 2-hour radius, so we're always happy every year to have our Alabama and Tennessee alumni also join us here with our Georgia folks. But this event is super special to us because it's probably, most of us, our only time during the year that we can get some homemade food, crawfish and jambalaya, and it's all cooked on the spot. We have an amazing caterer who actually grew up in Baton Rouge. Our crawfish are driven in from home in Louisiana, cooked here on the spot.
It's great to get out to Atlanta. You know, it's just, you know, one of the biggest cities in America, so it's awesome to go meet Cajuns fans, you know, big Ragin Cajun alumni base out there. So again, when we get to go out and meet those folks, it's a great opportunity for them, and it's a great opportunity for us to show our face there and let them know that, you know, hey, you might not still live in Lafayette, but we're getting out there, we're coming out to meet you guys, and it's going to be a great opportunity, I think, for all those folks.
It's critically important and very exciting to me, particularly when, you know, we know we can get to Atlanta pretty easy from Lafayette, Louisiana, and so you will see us spending more time up there, being more intentional about that, as well as the city of Houston, the city of New Orleans. But we know that Atlanta is a hotbed for us from an alumni standpoint, and we've got a lot of quality individuals up there that we need to get engaged.
Nearly 2,000 living alumni right here in the Atlanta area. So we're excited to embrace them and get out here and engage with our fans and our alumni base and continue to spread that Ragin Cajun spirit as we continue to push our brand locally, regionally, and nationally. What a wonderful day here. Coach Billy Napier is here. Brian Maggard is here. Many of our university leadership, particularly John Bloom, our Vice President of Advancement. And we're really lucky to be a part of this special day where we're boiling over 500 pounds of crawfish. We're really excited to dive into that here in a little bit. So thanks for all you do, Cajun Nation, and continue to come out and support our Ragin Cajun football team and all of our student athletes. And we're looking forward to seeing you folks here in Atlanta again soon.
It's really important that we go across enterprise and bring the information about the university into one spot. So we talk about admissions, we talk about growth in the university, we talk about our athletic programs and our coaches and others who come in to really kind of pump up our Cajun spirit and talk about the pride of our sports, you know, always on hand too to be a part of this. So we're very fortunate that we have that collaborative Cajun spirit that brings all kinds of people together who take their time to fly in here from Lafayette to be a part of it. share that Ragin Cajun spirit, and then look at how we can grow our culture here by furthering admissions for future Ragin Cajuns, for our kids and extended family and friends as well. So we are happy to do this every year, and as we always say, go Cajuns.
Next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we look at the week ahead with head coach Gerry Glasco.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come to us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball. Darren Walker joined once again by the head coach Gerry Glasco. And coach, no midweek games this week. You get a chance to rest up, but what's going to be your approach from Monday through Wednesday?
Well, today's an off day. We let the kids rest up, let their shoulders rest, let their arms rest, let their legs rest, and then we'll get back to practice tomorrow. And then Wednesday we'll practice here and travel to Monroe. Mm-hmm. Thursday, Friday, Saturday series versus Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend. Do the last weekend of the year and the selection show and the conference tournament all coming up in the next couple of weeks. So kind of unusual playing that, but we did that Easter weekend and it went well. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a short turnaround, 2 days practice, 3 days competition, and then they'll really get serious going into that finals week. Mm-hmm. We got finals next Monday and Tuesday after the Monroe series, and then we'll head for San Marcos, Texas on Wednesday.
Right. So last regular season series of the season this weekend against Monroe. They're 10-40, but as we all know, games are not played on paper. So you got to have your ducks in a row this weekend because they can be dangerous. They can be a loose team because they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, and it's senior weekend. Mm-hmm. And the one thing you know about senior weekends, you don't know what's going to happen because you don't know how that emotion, it can hurt you or it can help you. And so when you go into an opponent on the road, their senior weekend, they've got a couple of really good senior players. That worries you a little bit, but we have to keep the focus on ourselves and reach up to our potential. If we play to our true potential, we'll come out of there okay.
Right, and that kind of led me into the next question because you've won 23 games in a row. You've got all these accolades and team accomplishments coming in. So, but it doesn't seem like it's been that difficult to keep them focused on the big picture.
Yeah, they're a great group of kids, and our goal is the World Series. Our goal for our program and our goal for this particular team is to reach a Women's College World Series. And, at the end of the year, we either make it or we don't. If we fall short, we fall short. And we know that's a real possibility. We also know that along the way, we have to seek perfection every single game, as that's the truest way to practice for the NCAA Regional and the Super Regional. Is just if we play at our truest, highest level of potential, and we do that, each and every game, that's what we want to do in the postseason, and that helps us prepare if that's our goal. And the fortunate part of that is when this team, it has so much talent, it has enough potential that when we get anywhere close to that 100% mark, 85, 90 even, we'll win a lot of ball games. So that's our goal every day. We're playing against ourselves. We're competing to be our very, very best, and then the wins and losses are just kind of taking care of themselves.
Appreciate the time. As always, Coach, best of luck this weekend. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Softball, a more detailed look at the upcoming schedule.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajun spirit goes beyond athletics.
Welcome back. Time now to look at the details of the upcoming schedule.